Thank you very much. And maybe adding that I was on parental leave for most of that year, but we managed to do a lot of investments anyway. Yeah, so hi everyone. Let's get this one out of the way. So I've been in venture capital for like almost the past decade, getting close to that milestone, and have seen it change a lot over the past 10 years. And of course, AI now is the big thing changing. And so what I wanted to talk about is that we have seen for the past 2-3 years, VCs, they use a lot of AI in when they evaluate startups. And it's a lot about like data-driven VCs, and they record meetings and automatically create investment memos or whatever. And there's a lot of tools for them to find potential investments online. And like, yeah, it is a lot going on out there for the venture capitalists. But what I'm seeing now in our portfolio as they go out and they raise their next round is that the founders start to use AI as well to prepare their fundraising, during the fundraising, and yeah, throughout the whole process. And what I really like about that, and what makes me really excited, is that then they can spend more time instead of speaking with customers and building product, and which is actually value creation. Because just going out fundraising and spending time on fundraising, it is usually not fun for the founders, and it just takes away time from what actually creates value. And because every hour fundraising is an hour away of creating value for your company, growing your company, and that's all that matters. And so I wanted to show some examples. I was hoping to do a demo, but it didn't work out. But you'll see a nice screenshot. So for example, when it comes to the preparation of the fundraise, so for example, doing a financial plan, you need to have like a 3-year plan, or some investors require even a 5-year plan, and then you need to sit in your Excel sheet, and especially if you're not a finance person, that takes a lot of time, and maybe you need to get a consultant, and it just takes so much time writing all those formulas in all those cells. And now, so this is what I did together with the founding team, just prompting Claude, and I have a template that I created back in 2020 by hand. Spent like a week on it for doing a financial plan that they can use in their fundraise. And now with a simple prompt, take the template. Here is our financial results for the past month. This is our reporting, and then create a financial plan so that we triple revenue every year. And then do everything with formulas. I don't want any hard-coded cells, so I can play around with it. And then, boom, it was done. And then some tweaks and everything, of course, but in an hour, we were in a really good place with that financial plan. So already that can save massive time. Also creating the entire data rooms with like market analysis and everything isn't obvious for LLMs. If they are prompted right, I would say. Very important. And then we have, so this is Valtteri. He is the CEO and co-founder of Solus Care. So he's doing a life insurance, but AI native, digital native, really for a new generation of life insurance, really. And what he did, so he went out fundraising 2 months ago or something. And he had his whole data room with a lot of information, and then he had to have all these meetings with investors, asking a lot of questions, and answers were mostly in the data room. So what he did was that he created an avatar with Claude Code. So he put this together in an evening, where the investors can ask questions. So here, for example, I put in the question of explain more about the team or something, and then explaining everything. And you could even challenge it, like, oh, are you sure you're better than competitors, or what about this and that and the market? And he even put in these guardrails with the confidence level, like how much of the data that the answer contained that was from the data room. And even like if you were asking questions that had nothing to do, like, oh, how many siblings do you have, Valtteri? Then it said like, oh, this is not relevant. So he really developed it. And then what was great was that I had to log in to access this. So he could see which investors asked what questions. And it could even help him then see, okay, this is how the best way to answer a question. So I'll do the same when I have the meetings. So really, during the fundraise, being able to spend more time with the relationship building and not like, these are our metrics, year 1, year 2, year 3, which is not, that doesn't provide as much for the relationship building. Because when it comes to fundraising, a lot of it is like vibing with the investor and the investor vibing with the entrepreneur. So those were 2 examples. I have one more example, but a lot of founders, of course, have started doing pitch decks with AI, so that Claude just poops out a pitch deck. And I say poop because usually it's not very good quality. But then what he was saying that what he wanted to do is to put text that humans cannot read, but that the computer will read, so to say, or the AI will read, to kind of hack the investors that use AI to evaluate his pitch deck. So now we're starting to get into this place where the AI's got to speak with AIs for fundraising. And what I hope it can lead to longer term is that founders don't need to spend time on fundraising, and investors can have quicker, faster, more clear investment decisions to the founders, and so that we can have a much more like smooth fundraising market, and that those who should be funded will get funded. So it depends less on how good are you at pitching in meetings, and it's more about how good are you at building the company. So yeah, that was all I had. So I think it's just advantages for both sides, both founders and investors. Great, thank you.